Well, then, okay, so what? So like, look, for example, what if the Nazis won, and what if basically slavery was still around, and we had black people? Would you say that they're wrong for enslaving black people?
Yes, yes, I would say they're wrong.
But what makes your claim true? And there's not.
It doesn't make it true, sir. It's my claim, and that's all you need to
Exactly,
have a morality.
exactly though. But what if you were in the minority, and you're basically
Okay,
being controlled by people
okay,
majority
great.
who was
Then
power.
yes, then I would live in a world just like I'm a minority when it comes to veganism. I think it's wrong to eat animal products. I'm in the minority. Who
Okay, but
cares? Who
okay,
cares?
but look, but you're not understanding that the fact that slavery is objectively wrong.
How do
It
you know
has
that? How do you know that?
because everyone can agree that slavery is objectively wrong, except the people who are basically in the minority who think
That's
slavery
not
is wrong.
objective. That is not objective. Again, you are failing to recognize what objectivity means.
Okay, so
It
okay, so
doesn't mean we all agree to it. It
do you
means
agree?
that it's beyond stances.
Okay, yeah,
It's
yeah, there you go.
beyond our anybody's opinion.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So basically, objectivity means that it has to be true. Basically. Okay. So, do you think slavery is wrong?
Yes.
So, is that a truth claim or is that an opinion?
Opinion.
And do you not see the error in that? Like basically having opinions, and do you not
No,
see that?
where's the error?
Well, because for example, if you lived in a world that had slavery, and you would basically have to conform to it,
No, I would say it's wrong and I'd be against it.
but that wouldn't make it true.
Who cares?
Well, then you live in a world that's basically nihilistically more like a more nihilist. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
world. That's the reality we live in, sir. There is no objective right or wrong. Show us that there is.
I like for example, like I was just saying right now, like everyone could agree like basically
By the way, sir. By the way, sir. Listen, Evan.
uh-huh.
How about this? Your Bible says it's okay to own a slave and beat them. Do you think that's wrong or good?
It doesn't say that though.
Oh, yes, it does,
No,
sir.
no,
In
no, no.
Exodus 21:7.
It gives a regulation.
Sir,
It's not a law.
listen. Leviticus 25:44 says this. Exodus 21:7 says this, that it's okay to own a slave and beat them.
But it's regulating. It's not basically asking you to beat your slave. It's allowing something to happen if
It says you can beat them with a rod.
yeah, there was more context to that. I don't have all the scripture with me right now, but there was
What's the context where it's okay to beat your slave with a rod?
well, because for example, like back in that time, it wasn't like like slavery in America where it was through color and discrimination. It was
Sir,
basically
slavery is wrong. You think slavery is okay in some circumstances?
No. Yeah, so look, slavery is wrong, but the thing is that in the Bible they had servitude. It wasn't a slave, like basically in the sense that it was like somebody who wasn't a war captive, or basically what are you doing?
Sir, the Bible says you can beat your slave with a rod. If
Yeah,
they don't die, you're good to go.
yes, sir. But look, like you have to look at the
What do you mean, but? What do you mean, but?
no, but look at the way that the word slavery is used. It's used for servitude for people who basically owed a debt or people who were war captives.
Sir, read your Bible. It says in
No,
Exodus 21, if you
exactly the
beat,
context
sir,
behind it.
listen. Read your Bible because you haven't done it yet.
No, I
And
have,
then,
bro. Like I read it. I read every single day.
okay, great. Then you should know Exodus 21 says that you can
Yes,
beat your
read the
slave
context
with
behind
a
it. Yeah,
rod.
yeah,
You
but you're
can
reading
beat
it
your
without
slave
context.
with a rod. It says you can beat them. Is that good or bad to you?
Yes, but it's not the slaves that you're thinking of, bro. It's you're thinking of the
Sir,
slaves like Americans, like black.
listen very carefully, sir. The Bible says you can beat your slave with a rod. Is that good
Yes,
or bad?
but look at the context behind it, bro. Look,
What's the
like for
context?
example,
What's the
like
context?
bro, there were war captives, bro, and there were people who basically like owed to the Israelites and they were in debt to them. So for
They were
example,
not
like
war captives. And
yes,
by the way, that wouldn't make it good to beat somebody with a rod.
I know, but
No
look,
reason.
yeah, but look, also the context behind the Levitical laws and like basically like in the Deuteronomy, it was given to the Israelites, to people who were really hard-hearted, basically, and those rules were given to people of that time. They weren't supposed
It
to be
doesn't
rules
make
that
it
were
good.
universal.
It
I
doesn't
know,
make it good.
huh?
No context makes beating somebody with a rod good.
But like I said, bro, like it's not the slaves that you're talking about. It's different types of slaves.
Okay, how about this? How about this? Leviticus 20:13 says we can murder somebody if they are gay. Is that good or bad to you?
Well, yeah, because like for example, like in the like for the Israelites, there's supposed to be a covenant of people who were supposed to be holy, and they came from a people like basically they were enslaved by Egypt. They were enslaved by Pharaoh, and these
Wait,
people
you think
committed
that? Wait, so you
idolatry.
think it's okay to do that?
And during that time, it was given to those people because they had to be morally pure. Yeah.
So you think it's okay to kill somebody if they're
Oh,
LGBT?
that's not what I'm saying, bro. You got to listen to my arguments. They were given to the certain people of that time. They weren't given to universal laws like right now, like for
So,
us.
but
We need
so
the, we
God's
have
law
living
doesn't
government.
apply to today's time. So God's law is subjective.
The Levitical laws, bro. They're like in the Bible it says that
So
God
then
was
it's
going to bring a new
subjective because
covenant.
God has certain laws for different times. That's subjective.
But those are not moral. Those are not moral claims. Those were laws given to certain people of that time because they
Those
had
those are
they had a
moral
different standard to uphold.
commandments. These are commandments from your God.
They had a different standard to uphold, bro.
So then there's no objective standard.
Of course, there's an objective standard, but they were given to people at the
Why
time.
then
Like
why
for
are they
example,
why do they have a different standard?
because they had to uphold a different moral purity than us.
Why? If morality is objective, why is it
Because
different from them?
because Jesus was gonna come out of that bloodline. That's why. Because Jesus was gonna come from a bloodline that was morally pure. They couldn't be people who were impure. That's exactly why. And we're given a new covenant.
So you're saying that some people were allowed to be murdered. So you think it's okay for that time for them to be murdered?
Well, because look, for example, like the Israelites, they were shown that God actually exists and God actually spoke to them. So
No,
the
no, no.
fact that God
Answer,
gave them those
please
laws
stop.
and
Stop
they
with this
and they
garbage. Stop with this
no,
garbage. You
well, I'm
answer
explaining to you.
directly.
Well, I'm
For
explaining to
somebody,
you.
for somebody who claims to have objective morality, you seem to be very flaky right now. I'm asking you a simple question, and I want a direct answer. Do you think that back then it was okay for these people to be murdered for their sexuality? Yes or no? If you don't say yes or no, you're going away. Unmute yourself.
Oops, my bad. Okay, yeah. So basically, like yes, it was okay for them.
He just justified murder. Yep, there it is. Objective morality. You could murder. Objectivity denied.
Yo,
What do you got?
all right. So when you say God is imaginary, I want to hear your point of view from that. Because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't watching until I saw that last argument.
There's no evidence of God, and every God I've heard of entails logical inconsistencies, which render it illogically impossible.
Okay, so when I think of God, I'm not necessarily thinking of some sky daddy, right?
Okay, great. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 19.
Okay, great. What is your evidence for God?
My evidence for God, there's no evidence for God, like you said. I'm with you on that.
Okay, thanks. That's an easy W.
Hey, man.
Hey, what do you got?
Hey, I was just wanted to say I apologize for every like Christian and stuff like that that's treated you in the past, just because I feel like you just don't deserve the hate that you get from a lot of people.
I don't care about the hate. I love the hate. It makes me stronger. What's your evidence for God?
Yeah, I was just I want to make sure it doesn't go away when. But it was like the one you talked about, the slave being beaten by a rod and stuff, and I thought that was like kind of tough. That like you're looking for like the objectivity and why we can't why we say
Yeah.
and why is all the morality objective and things like that.
What's your evidence for God?
Basically, just because from like the Ten Commandments is like the reason why we have objective morals. So like the Lord literally says, thou shalt not murder. So it's like, that's where we get the objectivity from it. So
no, it actually doesn't say thou shalt not murder. It says thou shalt not
kill. Right.
But there are specific laws in the Bible that allow you to, there's loopholes, right? See,
okay.
Your God is misogynistic. It doesn't see women as actual people. It sees them as second-class citizens. It doesn't see LGBT people as people either. That's why your God allows them to be killed and stoned.
No,
your God doesn't see atheists. Your God doesn't see atheists as people either, because
Yeah, he does.
your God allows us to kill atheists.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, it
I would
absolutely does.
never. I would never kill an atheist. I would never kill someone that's gay. I would never.
What your God would.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, great. You want the verse?
I love the verse
Sure.
because that verse also in Exodus talks about if anyone that beats anyone with a rod must be put to death. That's what the rest of that verse says.
Only if the slave doesn't die.
No, it literally says that after that. It says that in Exodus. It says that person should be put to death.
So, sir, you believe that you can beat your slave as much as you can unless
No,
it doesn't
it
die.
says
Then
anyone that beats the person with a rod must be put to death. Then it says if the slave must
if
survive.
they don't die, if they die.
No, it says before that, and then it says.
Listen. Your Bible says if you beat somebody with a rod and they don't die, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it doesn't say that. It says that if the person that
Yes, it does.
with a rod, they should be put to death. But everything before that too also matters.
Read the next verse.
Everything before that also matters too, though. Everything in that entire verse and everything in that entire Exodus 21 matters.
Stop. This is embarrassing that you're going to come up here and try to apologize for the disgusting violence in your blood cult. Your book.
That's also a Jewish religion. That's not even Christianity.
It's the Old Testament, sir, which is Christianity. More importantly, your Bible says that you can beat somebody with a rod, and if they don't die, you're good to go. That's disgusting. And the fact that you're trying to make excuses for that is embarrassing. But more importantly, 2 Chronicles 15:12 says, anybody who does not seek the Lord is to be put to death, whether man or woman. What do you say about that? Why would your God allow us to be killed? Should I be killed, as your God says?
You should not be killed at all. You should never be killed.
Then why does your God say we should?
He doesn't say that. That's not the context of that.
I just gave you the verse.
But you read a verse. You didn't read the entire chapter. There's a whole context of it.
Sir. 2 Chronicles says you can kill somebody with an atheist. Where is the context that justifies killing an atheist?
We have to read the entire chapter.
Great. What's the context?
We have to read the entire chapter right now. We can't read the whole. We can't just pick a verse out of the Bible.
You don't know the context. So you don't know the context of the verse.
But you're bringing a verse and saying that this is what God says, and that's not true because you have to read the whole thing.
I did, and guess what? It allows you to kill somebody for being a non-believer. It says you can be a non-believer and you should be put to death.
It does not say that.
2 Chronicles 15:12. Go read it.
I will. I'll read it right now. Read the whole thing.
Go read it, and recognize how disgusting your religion is.
But I don't. That's not what it's saying. That's not what the whole chapter is saying. That's not what it's saying at all.
That's what it's saying.
No, it's not, because it would never. The character of God would never go against or contradict or anything like that. There's nothing about his character would ever do that.
Sir. You want more? How about Leviticus 21:9?
I would love the whole chapter. I would love, if we're going to read scripture, I would love.
How about this one where it says a priest's daughter who commits fornication should also be burned to death? That's disgusting. This is disgusting. There is no context in which somebody should be burned to death. There is no fucking context. And if you think there is, I will kick you off this live. So either make good excuse for this shit or go away. This is embarrassing.
I would. The Lord doesn't say that.
Yes, it does. Go read your fucking cult book, sir. It says it in Leviticus 21:9. You better fucking read it, because you're being dishonest right now.
I'm not being dishonest. No, no. I'm not going to say that God would say to kill someone because it doesn't say that.
Leviticus 21:9. Go read it. What does it say?
I'll read the whole thing. I'll read it.
Read it. I can't believe this. The Christians who claim to have objective morality, the good ones, are the ones who are justifying beating people and murder. This is disgusting. It is a blood cult. Come back when you read.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, what do you got?
So So the wages of sin are death, brother.
Oh, really? So you think
Yeah.
that anybody who fornicates should be put to death?
So I believe that God judges.
No, 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 no. Answer the question honestly.
Listen to me. I'm going to
No,
speak
no,
to you
no, no,
honestly.
no. Answer the
Here we go.
question,
No,
sir. Stop babbling and
I'm
answer the
going to answer
question.
you. I'm
Should
going to answer
all
you.
stop? Should all fornicators be burned to death? Yes or no? Please answer honestly.
Am I going to be the one to burn them? No. Are they going to burn? Yes.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
No, no,
110%.
no, no, sir.
Dude, you're mad. You're
No,
mad when
no,
a
no,
Christian
no,
says
sir.
yes. You're mad when a Christian.
Listen. You think we should kill people for being fornicators?
I didn't say I'm going to kill somebody. I said that
No, no,
wages
no, no,
of sin
no.
are death.
Listen. Do you? This is how dishonest these people are. Is disgusting. Do you think people that fornicate should be killed? Yes or no? This is disgusting. I can't believe you guys are all up here going, yeah. This is garbage. That we live in 2023, and people like this think it's acceptable to burn people alive. That is disgusting. I won't even entertain that shit anymore. I'm not going to entertain it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what do you got?
No, I kind of wanted you to pick up on what you was asking the last guest because I wanted to see where you was going with that.
Do you think that we should kill people that are fornicators or gay?
We know, do sin follow up with death? Yes, I deserve to be dead. Yeah,
No. You didn't answer my question. Like
Yeah.
every other fucking guest.
Yes,
Do you think people
yes.
that are gay should be killed?
Why are you saying gay now? At first you just said fornicators.
Both.
So
Should
and therefore
fornicators
you,
and gay people be killed?
but I'm saying therefore you're mentioning sin. And yes, people
Sir,
who sin.
answer the fucking question
When I
directly.
say yes,
Do you think that people who have sex outside of marriage and are gay should be killed? Yes or no?
yes.
Wow. And you call yourself an objective authority on morality? That is
I'm not. I don't.
disgusting. That is disgusting. People who have done nothing wrong, and your blood cult is atrocious. Disgusting. Disgusting. What is this? 2,000 years ago? Disgusting. No words.
So,
No words.
one, I don't think anyone should be put to death. And I think that
Then
the sin is a sin.
you're going against your Bible and your God.
No, I'm not. So you have to understand this about the Bible. There's the Old Testament, which is the old law, which is a Jewish law. And then once Christ was born, died for our sins, and
No, stop. There is no Jesus.
Listen,
It's all garbage. Listen.
It's a totally different
listen.
teaching.
Stop.
and you-
Stop. You Christians are all dishonest. Your God, these are your God's laws. Your God invented these laws. Stop with it's the Old Testament. It's your God's laws. It doesn't matter if it's the Old or New Testament or not.
Don't you think it would be fair?
Listen, stop. Your God said these things. So, do you think that your God is good in saying that we should kill people that have sex outside of marriage? Do you think that's good or bad, sir?
I think that my God is good, and I think that if you want to have an honest conversation with a Christian, can I please finish?
No, you're not. No. Answer the question.
If you want to have a conversation with a Christian,
stop. You got to be honest here. Do you think that your God was good in saying that we should kill people for having sex outside of marriage? Was that a good thing that your God said? Yes or no?
Am I muted? No. So it was talking about law. You have to understand the context.
Oh my gosh.
Listen.
No, there is no fucking context. There is no context where murder is ever good. And the idea that we have to sit here and explain this to people is so saddening to me. That I have to actually explain to you guys why murder is bad. This is pathetic. You are in a blood cult.
Oh, hello.
You worship death and torture. You don't even know.
I'm not Christian, so that shit won't work on me. All right?
Great. So where's your argument for God?
Huh?
Great. What's your evidence for God then?
Am I evidence for? Nah, wait. I first want to talk about this question you've been asking to the people.
No, we're not going to talk about that anymore. We're going to get evidence of God or go away.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, what do you got?
Hello? Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's your argument?
So, what can we use here in this argument? Can we use religious context? Can we use opinion? Can we use the...
Stop. That's all garbage. Give me evidence of God or go away. Hurry up.
Hey, can you hear me?
Give me evidence. Hurry up.
Hello? There we go. All right, perfect. Evidence-wise, we've got a bunch of different contexts. If you have... Can you hear me or no?
Yes. What is your evidence for God?
There are more documents of the historical Bible that we have written down, original documents of the historical Bible, than we do Aristotle.
I don't care,
Plato.
sir. I don't care, sir. You believe in talking donkeys and talking snakes and dragons and wizards and giants and virgin births and all that
There
shit.
are more original
I don't care about.
documents
Stop.
of
Every Christian says the same shit. Stop.
eyewitnesses.
Stop. You have a book of fables. I don't care about a book of fables. I want evidence, not a book of stories. Evidence. Please give evidence.
I would go through tortures.
Sir, give me evidence of God or go away.
Evidence of God would be throughout nature, would be throughout the fact that you can sit there and believe in other contexts like Aristotle, Apostle, of Plato. There's hundreds of times more than we do of first account.
Of what?
Can you hear me? I feel like you keep muting me.
Yeah, because you're going to go away. You're done. Give me evidence of God or go away. And stop with the fucking Bible. It's a stupid book of fairy tales. I want evidence. I did read it. That's why I'm an atheist. The Bible is a bunch of fairy tales. It's not real. Talking donkeys, virgin birth. You guys believe in fairy tales and you believe in blood cults where you worship a guy who got tortured on a stick. This is ridiculous. And the fact that I have to sit here and explain to you guys why this is wrong is so sad. It's so sad.
And I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now. So, if you want evidence, you have evidence of who created this world.
That question is a bad question because nobody created it. There's
Alright,
nobody making
so
it.
if matter can't be created or destroyed, how is everything just created?
If it can't be created, it's not created. It's
Alright,
always
so
there.
what is it? What is it? Just poof?
It's always there.
Okay, so how is it always here though?
Why can't it always be there?
Something had to create it
Why?
because there's no this poof and thing just appeared.
No. Oh my gosh. It's like you guys don't understand basic science.
Alright, what's the
Universe.
basic science
Stop,
on the
stop,
creation
stop,
of
stop,
a
stop.
human? How did
There is no
when the first
creation.
human?
There is no creation. The universe could have always existed in some way, and over time transform and change. And we evolved over time. We are
Okay,
it.
so
We evolved with everything else. That's it.
what did
It's
we
not God.
evolve from?
We evolved from previous ape species and monkey species?
Okay, so why is it apes and monkeys still alive today? Why aren't they all
Because
humans?
we don't come from the monkeys of today, sir. We share common ancestry, about 3, 4
So why
million.
isn't anything such like humans are? Why is there still apes and like
Because
these animals aren't as intelligent?
because if you learn basic fucking science, you realize that every species undergoes different pressures, different evolutionary environments. That's
Okay,
why
but we
every
have
species is
animals
different.
like monkeys in the same environment as us,
No, that's
eat
incorrect.
some of the same
No,
food as
that's
us.
incorrect. Nope, that's incorrect.
How?
Humans migrated out of Africa into Europe and Asia. No other
There's
species of ape
monkeys
did
in
that.
Europe and
That's why,
Asia,
but they
not
did not
Europe, Asia.
migrate. But they did not migrate from Africa to those countries. That's the point. Humans are human because we migrated. We walked out of Africa. We walked through the world. That is why we are human. We are, and but by the way, we are very similar to monkeys and apes. I agree, but we are different because of that. That explains why we are the way we are.
So
Not
what
your
make
explanation.
why are we different?
I don't feel like being Bill Nye tonight. How about this? How about you go learn some fucking science so that I don't have to waste my time trying to explain it to you. What doesn't explain our existence is what you believe. That one day a magic cosmic sky daddy got bored and he waved his magic wand and he said, poof, let there be light. And we all magically got here in 6 days. That is utter hogwash. That is garbage. Go learn some science and you realize that everything you believe is wrong. The Bible is complete nonsense. Get over it. And yes, I will disrespect your belief because it's shit. Thanks for the galaxy. Hey, what do you got?
Can you hear me?
Yep, what do you got?
Well, just like create a building. If somebody if you look at a building, you know that there is a creator. Somebody had to design and somebody had to actually build it. You can look at a building and know that somebody built it, correct?
Yeah, and if I look at rain coming down from the sky, do I think there's somebody in the clouds with a rain hose making the rain come down? No, right?
But
It's just nature. So there are some things that are natural and some things that are not natural, like a building. So that's the problem. You can't just blanket the entire world and say that there has to be somebody doing the universe when it could be a natural thing in a natural world. There does not need to be a God.
okay, so but you learned that from science, and
Science is true regardless of what you fucking believe.
okay, but that is your opinion. You've
No, it is
learned
fucking not, ma'am. It is
from
not my opinion.
school.
Science is based on evidence and facts. Your
It's
belief in your sky daddy is your opinion.
science is pretty much based on somebody's opinion that came up
No,
with
it is not.
something.
No, it is not. Science is based
Everybody,
on
people, even
science. Ma'am,
scientists that have tried to prove.
stop talking. Science is not based on opinion. It is based on experimentation. It is based on observing reality and coming up with experiments that falsify the things we believe in. We can test it. We can repeat these tests and we can conclude based on the most likely conclusion. That is science. What you do is you go, look, I have a book of bullshit. Let me pretend it's this. That is not a good method to truth. Science wins every time. I'm sorry, ma'am, but we need more than this. Give us evidence of a God or go away. Please unmute yourself so I can debunk you again.
Okay, so you say we came from apes. Okay, so
No.
if that is true,
Not what I said. I said we are apes. We share common ancestry with other ape species.
okay, so where can you possibly prove the Bible wrong? Because
Absolutely.
science is proven
Sure.
wrong all the time. There's
Sure.
things all the time that are debunked
No.
from science.
Give an example.
I mean, like, can you actually say that somebody actually really walked on the moon?
Absolutely. We have photos, videos, and moon rocks. We have lasers from the Earth that we can point to the moon and verify this. We can measure the distance. We can see from telescopes the tracks from the rovers
Have
on the
you been
moon.
there? Have you
We don't.
personally been there? Do you know?
Have you been to China,
No.
ma'am?
It could be
Cassie,
Hollywood. They
Cassie,
could.
Cassie, Cassie.
Mhm.
Have you been to North Korea?
No, but just
So
like you're saying,
how do you know it exists?
that's what I'm saying. How do you know it exists?
No, ma'am. How do you know North Korea exists if you've never been there?
Because there's people that have been there. Yes.
Exactly.
And there's
Because
people
we
that
have
live there.
evidence. Because we have evidence of people being there, right? Okay, the same with the moon. Now let's get back on track here. Where's your evidence of your magic sky daddy?
Look at you. Look at your hand. Just look at your hand. We are so amazing. I mean, it's amazing how we are created, how God created us. There's something more powerful that created you. All our personalities are so different.
Ooh,
Even
well,
you.
okay.
And he loved you so much
Oh,
that he
he
sent
did.
his son to die on the
Oh, he loved me so much that he flooded the babies and drowned them all. No, let me explain. The reason why we are this way, as appealing as it is to look around and say, there's got to be somebody doing this. That is what a first grader says when they look at nature. But an educated person does not go, who made this? They look around at what explains why we are this way. And what explains it is evolution, natural selection. Billions of years of small chemical changes add up to large changes and render us here the way we are. That is called evolution. It's called biology. Go learn it sometime. And you'd recognize that there are other perspectives than just God did it. Take off your God goggles for a second and recognize that there is another way of viewing reality. And it is based on empirical data, not faith. I'm giving you one more chance to give evidence of God. One more chance. And by the way, if God designed us, why the fuck do I have to wear glasses to fix my eyesight?
Well, there is a Satan. He fell from, he chose, just like with you,
Oh.
he's arrogant, and God made him beautiful and perfect.
Satan.
And
Okay.
he fell
Who made Satan?
from heaven.
Who made
God
Satan?
did.
So God made Satan.
He was an angel.
So then
His
he
name
fucked up
was-
the world. So then God fucked it up.
because he was jealous. Thought he was better. And when you were away, you're not a part of God.
So let me kill the world because I'm mad. I'm jealous at this guy. He thinks he's better than me.
He
Your God-
didn't create us
Your
to go
God-
to hell.
Your God is a
That was for
sadistic
his-
idiot.
for angel- Oh,
Your God is a sadistic moron. He gets jealous. He gets sad and angry because somebody ate a fruit from a tree. That's garbage.
Hello?
Hey, what do you got?
Yes, you want a proof of God? There's a lot of proof of it. He's in
Sure.
our DNA.
Where?
There's a lot.
Where is he in our DNA?
You can Google it. You know, your little science that you said has it?
Oh, so you think Google is a reputable source that
No,
demonstrates
and you
things are
think
true?
that seeing pictures on NASA is a reputable source, whatever you're saying.
No, because we actually have peer-reviewed research that demonstrates moon rocks exist, ma'am. Now, where's your evidence that there's a magic sky daddy watching over you and looking at where you
Where there's
put
evidence,
his
they found
feet?
his clothes, they found his cloths, they found the boat
Oh.
that Noah's Ark that he created. There's a lot of
Oh,
evidence.
where's the ark at?
Where's the Ark at? You know how you found out from where the NASA's at? Find it the same way. Google. How would you
Google-
find NASA? Did you land on it?
Ma'am, I can also Google a flat Earth. Does that make it correct?
Yeah, you Google science. Science, you believe it so much. Why don't you
Ma'am,
believe in God?
do you believe in a flat Earth?
No.
Well, I can Google it. Google it, and you'll see it's a flat Earth.
Where did you find science from? Are you in the science industry? No.
So, science is not an industry. Science is a methodology, and
Yes,
it is
whatever.
demonstrable. Science is demonstrable. It is repeatable, testable, verifiable, falsifiable. That's science, ma'am. If you don't understand how it works, I'm sorry, but you don't have a place in this debate because you are a complete blithering idiot when it comes to this scientific literacy.
No, there's a
You
lot
have
of
no
proof
understanding of
in the
science.
Bible.
I can't
a lot of
debate you,
proof.
man. I'm sorry. I can't debate you. This is embarrassing. Go learn what science means. It is not what people say, it is what people demonstrate. And Google is not a source of anything.
Hello?
Hey, what do you got?
I would like to start by saying, are you a scientist?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Yeah. I don't have to be a scientist to understand science.
How do you know that what they're putting out is real? How do you know that all the organizations, all of the studies, all of the tests,
Because they're peer reviewed.
everything that they've done, how do you know that that's real? How do you know that that's true?
Because we can take a look at the research and we can study the methodology. Scientists peer review the research and we take a look at the methodology, we take a look at the experiment, and we take a look at the conclusion. And if the conclusion is if we're skeptical about the conclusion, we can make sure that they're not lying. We can prove them wrong. And in science, you win rewards if you can prove them wrong. We don't shun away people who prove us wrong like you do. See, what you're doing is you're saying, I'm right, nobody can prove me wrong, trust me, bro. How do you know that the Bible's correct? How do you
I'm not saying that I'm right.
God is real?
I
You don't.
believe that
In
everybody's
science, we
entitled to their
do.
own
We
opinion.
do know in science because we actually have falsifiable data. You don't.
There is falsifiable data
Where?
that God
Where's
did
your
exist.
falsified data for God? Where is it?
If you actually read through the Bible, then there's obvious information that
Where?
proves God's
The
existence.
Bible is not falsifiable, sir. It's a story.
It's not a story. If you actually legitimately read it, then you
Talking
would
donkeys,
understand.
talking snakes, a guy in a whale's stomach, talking snakes, wizards, giants, ghouls, demons, wizards, body to bread, like a muffin man, walking on water, zombies coming back from the dead. That's ridiculous. That's a storybook.
How do you know that everything that science claims is not its story too?
I explained this to you, sir. We can
Think about it,
falsify
because
the data.
in Christianity and in Orthodoxy and in the whole
All
realm
right,
where we
you're done.
believe in
You're done.
God,
You can't come up here if you don't understand what science means. We don't just believe what the scientist says. We take a look at the methodology and the study, and we falsify it. We can do the experiment, and if we're skeptical enough, we can prove them wrong. That's how we do science. We prove them wrong. That's what you're not doing. You're so skeptical about the science. You're so skeptical about the moon landings. But when it comes to some virgin birth, you eat it up like a cake. Demons? Flying donkeys? Yeah. Talking snakes? Yeah. That's what you're doing. And you don't even care about what's true. Because if you did, you would know what science is. And it is complete, utter opposite of religion. That's why science gets us to the moon and religion gets us war. That's why we use science to do brain surgery and we never use the Bible. I wonder why we never use a Bible to do science. Because it doesn't fucking work.
Hey Mike, how are you?
Wait, what do you got?
I can explain how we are all actually God with science.
No, I don't want to hear your nonsense. Do you have any actual evidence that there's a God that exists or not?
Yes.
What's the evidence?
Go on YouTube and look up a video of molecules, because everything in the
Guys, YouTube is not a source. YouTube is not a source.
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately.
How about God is not the God of the Bible? 'Cause that's bullshit. God is energy. Always has been, always will be. We are energy, and when we...
Okay. Everything's energy. This is a cop-out, right? What you're doing is you're going, yeah, I know the Bible's shit, but let me just say that everything's God, right? This is lazy, intellectually lazy, because God means, what does God really mean? If you're going to equate God with nature, well then, who cares? Why even use the word? It's confusing. Why not just say nature is nature? Why not say energy is energy? Why must you say God?
Yo.
Hey, what do you got?
So your whole theory is the universe has always existed?
No, it's a possibility. I don't believe it. It's just possibility.
The majority of scientists believe that the Earth is running out of energy, which means that it had a starting point, and that starting point could be their Big Bang, and that doesn't disprove God.
No. The Earth is not running out of energy. What does it even mean?
Look it up. The majority of scientists believe that the Earth is running out of energy, which means that
Earth?
it once had a starting point.
No. The Earth or the universe? Are you talking about usable energy?
The universe, yes.
Okay. Are you talking about usable energy?
What do you mean? Explain.
So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, do you?
I've looked at the studies and at how the
Oh, really?
majority
What
of
study?
scientists believe
give
that it
me-
is running
what's
out of
the study?
energy.
Where's the study?
Where's your studies? Bring those up.
Of what?
Whatever you're saying, that the universe has always existed.
I never
That's
said
your
that.
theory, right?
I'm saying it's a possibility.
Where's
I never
that?
said
And
it's
you
a-
also say that Jesus is fake, right?
No, I'm saying there's no evidence of Jesus or God. Do you have any
But
evidence?
how come the almost every single historian believes that Jesus is real? He
I
died on the
don't give
cross.
a shit about a guy who died on
So
this.
you don't care about all the historians that
No,
agree
it
that
doesn't.
he is a real
I
person.
don't. Whether or not Jesus existed does not mean he's a God. I'm asking you, where's your evidence?
I agree. That doesn't mean it.
It's great.
That
So
doesn't mean
where's
it
your
is.
evidence of a God?
But when you have all these eyewitnesses that are writing from different
You
places,
have no eyewitnesses.
you do have eyewitnesses.
Where?
All the historians agree that these people who wrote in the Bible, in the New Testament, were actually real people. They were in that time period.
Then give me a give me a historian who thinks that these are eyewitness accounts of Jesus' resurrection.
Bro,
give me that.
every historian, look it up.
Give me
Almost
one. Give me
every
one.
historian agrees.
No, Bart Ehrman disagrees. He's a biblical scholar. He disagrees.
Bart Ehrman, that's like one of the. There's like 90. It says like 98% of historians believe that Jesus was a real person, died on the
That's
cross.
not what I said, sir. That's not what I said.
And the
I
main
said no.
Bart
What I said
Ehrman,
was
Bart
listen,
Ehrman believes that Jesus is real and died on the cross.
listen. What I said was, give me evidence that these eyewitness accounts in the Bible. There are no eyewitness accounts. Give me evidence of that.
Okay, but you brought up Bart Ehrman. Bart Ehrman believes that Jesus is real, died on the cross, and he believes that those people who wrote about him are real.
Sir, stop. I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about the resurrection. I'm talking about a God. How do you know he's a God?
Because he claimed to be a God.
So did Charles Manson.
And he had miracles.
So did Charles Manson.
Miracles that people, eyewitnesses, believe they saw.
Okay, great. So where's your evidence of these eyewitness accounts of the miracles?
That's how every history works. It's all eyewitnesses.
No.
How did the Titanic work?
Stop, sir.
How did the Titanic work? It was all eyewitnesses.
Listen. How do you know that Jesus did miracles? How do you know this?
Because people claimed he did, and they said they witnessed it. How do you know? How did we know that the Titanic sunk?
God.
Because how did we know? Eyewitnesses.
We actually have the people that came back from the boat and they're still alive.
Yes. But at first, we had eyewitnesses that said that the ship sank.
Listen. You don't have any eyewitnesses in the Bible. I'm asking you for a source that demonstrates that this guy actually rose from the dead. And not a claim. The Bible's the claim. It's the story. I'm asking for actual evidence, extra biblical evidence. Do you have
all of those writings are the evidence. That's how
No,
all
they're
history
not.
is.
No, they're not. No,
There's
they're
more
not.
writings about Jesus than any.
There are no eyewitness accounts in the Bible. There's zero. Every historian disagrees with you. There are no eyewitnesses in the Bible of his resurrection, let alone Jesus. But more importantly, anybody can claim something. The Bible's the claim. You can't use the claim to prove the claim. You need something extra biblical. You need something outside of the Bible to demonstrate that he actually is a God. Do you have that extra biblical source? If you don't have it, get the fuck off my live. Give me something extra biblical, not a book for little kids like you who are gullible and believe anything their mommy says. Give me actual evidence. Come on, sir. Unmute yourself, sir, so we can move on. Hurry up. Okay. Have a good day. Come back when you actually have a source. Hey, what do you got? What do you
Well,
got?
how's it going?
What do you got?
Just gonna check on you on the road tonight. You got them going, don't you?
Yo, find God.
God, where are you? Is he up my ass?
No, I'm in.
Find Snuffleupagus monster. See, anybody can play this stupid fucking game. Give me actual evidence or go away.
You're never gonna really find evidence, but the fine-tuned argument is the closest thing.
Okay, great. So let's hear the fine tuning. Let's hear it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard it a million times. You're just gonna keep denying it, no matter what I have to offer.
Let's hear it. Let's prove God today. Let's do it.
I mean, the fine-tuning of the universe. I'm not really good at explaining it, but I know you heard it before.
Okay.
'Cause people come up here to debate.
Do you think that the universe is orderly?
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Okay. Yeah, you can't debate. Next. You guys are so arrogant. You come up and you go, "Oh, I know the arguments," and then you run away. You actually have nothing. You have no understanding of anything you're saying.
Yo, listen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, lad?
What's up, man?
Hey, what do you got?
Prove to me God is imaginary.
Sure. What God do you believe in?
You said God, so it could be any God.
Yeah. So when I say God's imaginary, what I mean is most gods that I've heard of are most likely not real because there's no evidence for them. And most gods I've heard of entail logical inconsistencies, which render them not possible. So that's why God to me is imaginary, because nobody has any evidence for it.
But that's not what you said. So prove he's imaginary.
I never said I can prove he's imaginary, because whatever he is
You're
ambiguous.
making a statement on your live that says God is
Stop
imaginary.
it. This
So
is such a
prove it.
fucking cop-out.
Prove it, man. Prove
This is such a cop-out. You guys don't understand basic logic. When I say God's imaginary, it's a statement of probability. I'm saying it's most likely that God is not real based on the fact that there's no fucking evidence for it. I'm not saying I can prove it, because it depends on what God you're talking about. And yes, it depends on the God. If your God is a square circle, I can prove that shit's not real. That's why I asked you, sir, what God do you fucking believe in? This way I can debunk it for you. If you say that God is a bottle, I can't debunk that. It's real. If you think God is this, well then of course God is real. If you think God is my penis, well then of course God's real. But what I'm asking for is what God you believe in so I can debunk your ass. So either give me your belief in your God or go away. Stop with this bullshit rhetoric and give an argument.
You're the one giving the argument. I'm asking.
Okay, this guy clearly doesn't understand anything he's talking about. When I say I can debunk your God, it depends on the definition of God. I can't debunk something I don't know. Hey, what do you got?
Hey, so I won't take up a ton of your time because I don't disagree with you. But one thing I wanted to say is that when we
Hey, what do you got?
What's up, buddy?
What's your argument?
Well, I think honestly that God is one. Can you agree?
God is one. God is my shit. God is my penis. God is my semen. Come on, guys. This is getting embarrassing. Give an argument. God is my nutsack.
You have to, well, you said God does not exist, right? But when you go to Israel, you see all those cross, all those nails.
Yeah, it wasn't just your magic wizard that was crucified. Many people were crucified back then. Your magic fable isn't special. Get over it. Stop with the Satan stuff. There is no Satan or God or anything.
Hello?
Hey, what do you got?
Hey, so Jesus in the Bible talks about working on miracles, signs, and wonders.
Ma'am, stop. What
Can I
is your
finish
argument?
speaking?
What is your argument for your God?
I have
And
it. You're not letting me speak, so
how old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay, what is your argument? Don't read me a passage from your book
I'm
of
not reading a passage. You're not letting me speak at all.
Then give evidence of God.
You
Give
were
me an
saying
argument.
that the world operates and things were created naturally by nature. The Bible talks about things happening in supernatural terms, and miracles happen every single day in
Okay,
people's
great.
lives,
Give
including my
evidence of a
own.
Give the evidence of a miracle.
A bone that was broken suddenly at a church service when being prayed over, being healed miraculously. People's evidence are
Okay.
people.
Did you know that
people's
Did you know that your bones can heal themselves?
Yes, I do know that, but
Okay,
miraculously, when
great.
somebody's
Great.
praying over it, when it's been broken
Okay,
and has X-rays,
did you also know that people act in those church retreats? They're little
exactly. That's
acts.
why I'm here, because I'm actually one of them, to tell you as a living testimony that it has happened to me, and I've also seen
Okay.
deliverance happen.
Then
So how
demonstrate
can you
that
say that that's not true?
So you're saying that your bone magically healed in one day?
I was at a church service. It was healed. My doctor said I needed screws. I got prayed over, and it was miraculously healed when they were praying over me and speaking the name of Jesus. That's proof that
So
God
where's
is
the medical
real.
where's the medical documents to demonstrate this?
In my medical folder with my X-rays and my doctor's notes and all of those things.
Can you show it to us?
Obviously, I'm on a live. I can't show it to you. It's supernatural is what I'm trying to tell you. He operates in the
You can
supernatural.
open your camera and show us the documents.
I don't have them with me in my room while I'm at night. I'm not at the. They are in my.
Ma'am, you have the biggest miracle to ever exist, and you don't want to show it to us? What a coincidence. Or maybe you're just lying out of your fucking ass. And by the way, how did you discount the possibility that it is natural? That it maybe wasn't actually broken? Hey, what do you got?
I'm going to tell you this. You don't understand what's going on right now. You don't understand
Ma'am,
what's going
give
on
us an
right
argument for your bullshit or no?
now. We're in the last days.
Yeah, have a good day. Last days. You said that last day. You said that last time. You said that yesterday. You said that the month before that. You said that the year before that. Every day's the end times to you people. Get over it. Every day's the end times. Everything you touch is a demon. You guys are so fragile. Oh no, don't touch the mark of the beast. iPhone 15. Oh no. Don't put on the Apple glasses. It's the mark of the beast. Oh. Grow up. Everybody follow my YouTube, by the way, link in bio. Follow my YouTube. I got lots of more content. I post up my lives there. I post up science lives.
Hello?
What do you got?
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately. Hurry up.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not trying to like argue or fight with you or anything. I'm just like, why, I guess I'm just wondering why you do this.
Because I'm trying to expose the fact that none of you people have actual evidence and you're just lying and you actually have no good reason to believe in a God at all. I'm trying to expose this because you
But-
guys are trying to vote against people's rights in our world. And
But
you're a net
I
negative for our
understand, but not
Great. So give us
everyone.
evidence or go away. I don't have time to explain myself like Dr. Phil. Give us evidence or go away.
Okay. Okay, well, have a nice day.
Okay.
I hope
So
you find what you're looking for.
I hope you learn some science. I hope you take first grade science. You need it.
What's up? You can hear me?
Yeah, what do you got?
Okay, well, firstly, I'll say no one can prove God exists or doesn't
Then give
exist.
evidence. Just give evidence you got.
Well, I would argue that your probably biggest critiques of religion are its dogmas, right? That like people believe in God too blindly.
So just give us evidence of God, please. Hurry up.
Dude, you're kind of being antagonistic here.
Your Bible is antagonistic. Your religion's antagonistic. Your ignorance is antagonistic. I'd rather be rude than ignorant.
Sup?
Hey, what do you got?
God is the generative, operative, and destructive forces of nature. Checkmate, I fucking win.
What's your evidence of that?
What do you mean evidence? Nobody needs evidence.
Oh, so you're going to be dishonest and not give evidence behind your stupid claim?
So you think that's a stupid claim?
Yeah, because there's no
You think
fucking
there's-
evidence for it. And guess what? I can say Snuffleupagus monster is the order and the nature, just like you did. I can do that for any god I want to. I can do it for fucking Santa Claus.
So did you hear what I said? I said the generative, the operative, and destructive forces of nature. It's an acronym.
That's Santa Claus.
It's an acronym.
That's
It's an
Santa
acronym,
Claus.
buddy.
That's Santa
Checkmate.
Claus.
It's an acronym of God.
Santa is the sexy, antagonistic, tomboy, and amazing guy. Anybody can do that. It's an acronym. I want actual evidence for your God. I want actual good reasons for God.
Hello.
What do you got?
So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that you don't really have any evidence saying that he's not real.
Well, I do. What God do you believe in?
Just God.
What type of God is this? Is it the Christian God, the Muslim God? Which God?
I reckon the Christian.
Okay. Is your God all good?
Yeah.
Then why is there evil in the world?
There's evil everywhere. I mean, God
Yeah,
has
why the
nothing
fuck
to
would
do
your
with
God
that.
why would your God make evil if he's all good?
But the thing is that you don't have any evidence saying that he's not real, but you're going to come
I'm
up
trying
here
to
and
point
then
out,
you
ma'am, I'm trying to point out a logical inconsistency in your view. You're saying that God is all good, but why is there evil in the world? And don't say free will, because your God has free will, yet he never chooses evil. So why couldn't God allow us to have free will and never choose evil?
because why would he interfere?
He's not interfering. We have free will. See,
Exactly.
God could have made us perfect and
Like
good.
exactly though, you just said it.
Ma'am, listen. God could have made us good and perfect such that we never sin. Do you agree?
Wait, what?
Okay,
What did you say?
I gotta go to the restroom real quick because God designed us with terrible urine and bladder systems. I gotta go. Stay here. I gotta go. Okay, I'm back. I prayed in the bathroom for evidence of God. I prayed to God that we get some evidence. See if it works.
Hello, how are ya? My good ignorant friend, how are you?
What do you got?
Alright, so how did you come here? How did this universe come here? That's just my first question to you. Is how did you exist? How did you come into existence?
Who said I did? Who said I did?
Okay, let's not play dumb. Let's not go in circles. Stop being a smartass. My question to you
is how did you come into existence? And
Who
you know,
said
for
I
you to be able
did?
to sit here.
What if I didn't come into existence?
Look, my friend, like we all know, like you're a bit weird. You know, you talk out the side of your mouth. You don't really know what you're talking about, but you're here anyway, wearing a purple shirt. You're a bit weird. We know that. My question to you, my friend, is how did you get here? How did the Earth get here? How did Jupiter get here? How did the sun? How did the moon get here?
The question is malformed, sir, because it presupposes there's somebody doing it. It presupposes that.
Sir, something cannot come from nothing.
I never
Okay.
said that. That's a straw man.
Okay, who made your iPhone for you to sit here, or your phone to sit here and talk on live, talk, you know, all that
person.
nonsense?
A person did.
Exactly. So who made the universe? That's my question to you.
Who made the rain? Who makes the rain come down?
God makes the rain come down, obviously, because he is the creator.
Is there somebody in the clouds with the rain hose making the rain come down?
Dude, you can go on Google, you can go open a science book and type in how rain is formed. Either way.
Oh, so rain forms naturally, right?
Dude, I asked you a question. Stop running away from it. How did the universe come here?
Wait, rain happens naturally, right?
Absolutely.
Then why can't the universe happen naturally without God?
Because the universe can't come here. Okay, first of all, rain can't form without the properties that God created in place for rain to form. Similar to how the universe cannot just pop out and be here.
That's begging the question, sir. That's begging the question. I'm asking you, how do you know God did it and not just nature?
Dude, how can something come from nothing? How can nature just get up there
I never said it came from nothing. I'm saying it could have always existed and goes through different phases and changes.
Dude, listen. The first cell, let's just...
Hello? Can't hear you, sir. I'm still waiting for evidence of your God. You can't just say God did it. That's not evidence. I want reasons. How you know God did it.
Okay, I'm giving you a reason. How can something come from nothing?
I never said it did.
Well, there you go. So you just answered your own question that the universe cannot just pop out outside of there. Okay,
That's what you believe. That's what you think, sir. You think God made us from nothing.
Logic. Like, did God give you a brain, or did he give us all brains? He just maybe forgot about you. That's my question.
So do you agree that the universe could have always existed naturally?
Absolutely not. How does that make sense? How can something come from nothing?
No, it always existed.
Okay, did your funny-looking purple T-shirt just get up and make itself?
No.
It just always existed.
Listen, sir, is it possible that the universe always existed, space and time?
Dude, you're not listening. How can something come from nothing? Does that make sense to you?
I never said that, sir. Can you answer my question now? Is it possible that the universe, space and time always existed?
From nothing? Just like that?
No, it always was there.
Okay, but eventually it had a beginning. Someone put it in place.
But is it possible that it was always there, though, without a beginning?
Absolutely not. That's ridiculous.
Why not? Then why not?
Was your funny-looking purple T-shirt always there from beginning without a creator? Why not, bro? Why not, bro? Why not? Why not?
Let's take a look at the shirt. Let's take a look at the atoms that's made of, right?
Yeah,
These
that's
atoms.
absolutely ridiculous.
Hold
man.
on. Let me educate you, since you're a child. My shirt is made of atoms and particles that come from the universe. Somebody assembled my shirt. I agree. But the particles and atoms that make up the shirt were always there in some way. So maybe the universe as we know it could have always existed in some way. Energy and matter in space and time. And through time, changes occurred, transformations, natural causes, natural effects. Is that a possibility, that the universe was always there and goes through changes, and so all of us do as well? Is that possible, sir?
Okay, so similar to how you said that your T-shirt is made of atoms. I promise you.
Answer the question. Is it possible?
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question.
Answer the question, sir. This is a yes or no. Is it possible that the universe always existed and the energy that makes up all material was always there as well? Is it possible? Yes or no? Yes or no? If you don't say yes or no, you're going to go bye-bye.
Hello?
Yes or no, sir?
Are you going to keep muting my microphone, or are you going to let me answer your
Yes,
question?
yes or no, sir?
No, sir.
No, it's not possible.
Okay, dude.
Why not?
Can I
Why not?
talk?
Then demonstrate.
We love you. Are
Demonstrate.
you
No,
okay?
no,
Are you
no.
alright?
No, you just said no. Now it's up to you to demonstrate that the universe can't be infinite and that energy can't be conserved. Your job, you go. Demonstrate how it's impossible to what I just said is it's impossible. Go.
Okay, so similar how your t-shirt needs particles to be in place for that t-shirt to be created, similar to the universe needs a creator for those particles to be in place to create the universe, sir.
No, the universe wasn't created. No, is
Yes,
it
sir.
No, no, no. Listen. Is
No.
it possible? Is it possible that the universe was always there?
No, sir. It's
Why not?
impossible.
Why not?
Because it needs a beginning. It needs a creator, sir.
Why? Why does it need a beginning?
Because something can't come from nothing.
Okay,
Similar to
then
how your
where
t-shirt
did,
needs a
okay,
creator,
great,
the universe needs a creator.
Where did God come from?
God has no beginning and he has no ending because he's
Okay,
God.
great. So why can't we say that the universe has no beginning or end?
Because that doesn't, you're not listening to me. We're nothing. You and me, we're human beings. We're creation.
Answer the
We are not
question,
God.
sir. Why can't the universe always be there? Come on.
Because we need a creator. Sir, let me
Why?
answer your question. You just went,
Why
you
doesn't
just went
God-
and you flipped out your ding dong in the bathroom.
Yeah, this guy can't debate. If God doesn't need a creator, neither do we. Neither do we. We don't need a creator. That's it. It's that simple.
Hello, that assertion doesn't logically follow because
Hey, what do you got?
we have things present, abstractions present to our existence and to reality, such as the laws of logic and the laws of nature and love and reason, which are immaterial, transcendental, which you cannot observe by science, but rather they are philosophical ideas.
Yeah,
Ideals.
so this is completely incorrect. So logic, mathematics, all these things are thought processes that are mind dependent, that our brains operate by. Our brains can produce logic and math and all these things. They are descriptive in nature. They are not, there's no ontology outside of our minds for logic.
What is your epistemology?
What do you mean? What is my epistemology as to what?
Like, how do you exactly know what you said was true? How do you know
We
you're
can,
not in the Matrix?
we can empirically verify that thoughts come from the brain and that logic comes from the brain.
You can verify that there is operation into the natural realm, but you can't exactly say emphatically the origin is in the natural realm. That's an assertion.
No, sure.
It's
So we can say that that our brains is what derives logic and math from. The prefrontal cortex, for example, we know is capable of calculating these things. So
how do you know?
So the point is that we can ground logic in our minds. We don't need God for this.
How do you know that's the fundamental basis, though? You can see operation and
Why can't it be?
That's not answering how do you know. I'm asking you.
Based on observing the brain. We have good reasons to think that the brain is what produces logic. The prefrontal cortex.
Listen to me. You verify science and experience and all this by perception. How do you know all this drama is your perception? How do you know your perception is fundamentally valid? I'm not hearing that.
Because it produces reliable results. And by the way, I'm not saying that I can prove senses. I don't prove anything. What I'm saying is that it is most likely the case that I am a mind and that my senses are reliable in a way that it allows us to achieve results. Yeah. And as far as I can see, our brains is what derives logic and math. And I don't need anything outside of that to derive it.
You just appealed to an argument based on probability, not like a total axiom. Like I'm talking about objective.
So what? That's literally how we do science. It's based on what is the most likely event based on the best evidence. So where's your evidence of a God?
Do you believe in like objective truth, universal objective truth, or is it more like relative?
No, I don't know what that means. I don't think there's absolutes at all.
Is that absolute?
No, I don't know. I don't have absolute access to epistemology. I don't have epistemic access to absolutes.
So what you're essentially saying is you can't know anything, essentially.
No, I don't know anything with absolute certainty, but I do know things with maximal certainty.
But in the fundamental weeds of things, you have a perception. You verify your empirical science and reasoning and deductive reasoning by your perception. I'm asking you, how do you know the methodologies that people use to verify information to be actually valid? What you would say logically by that.
It gets us results that we can test and falsify to be true. It allows us to achieve results. Now, whether or not those results are absolutely true, we don't know. We don't have access to that. But we know that there is something working here. Science works. We have phones and cars and TVs. It works. Now, how do you know that we get logic from God?
Well, I would predicate the argument based on, we already know philosophically, in order for absolute truths to exist, there must be a personal God, a telos at the top.
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
I would say natural law.
Are you absolutely certain about that?
Yes.
How are you absolutely certain about that?
I would say one way. Let me structuralize the argument. So a way we can know with the predicate that God exists, a way we can know that, and that's not just a monologue and religion and theologies, is through something like natural law. If God would be real, and He's a personal God that has made us in His own image, you would expect abstractions that can only be absolutely substantiated by His existence, which is absolute relevance.
That's ad hoc. That's a rationalization that you've done ad hoc. We can take a look at things like empiricism. We don't need a God to ground logic.
But empiricism doesn't
keep begging the question of a God. I'm asking you, how do you know that God is what grounds logic? And if you're all going to say is, well, we need it, that's not knowing. How do you know that God grounds logic? How did you get this information?
Well, if we need it, then there is a knowing.
How do you know we need it?
Okay, let me give you an illustration. So even when people like you debate inherently as though some kind of truth exists. So it's inherent in our nature that truth exists. That's part of natural law.
But
That's
truth,
Aristotelian logic.
No. Listen, sir. Truth can be mind dependent. Truth is what describes reality. So again,
but you said, truth is relative.
Hold on. With naturalism, I can ground truth. I can ground logic. I can ground everything I need to ground with brains and minds. I don't need to add a God at all. Why do we need a God to ground anything?
Again, but seeing a functionality with logic or with thoughts in the brain, like biochemicals and neurons firing off, doesn't necessarily prove that's the etymology fundamentally of that process. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying I can prove it. I'm saying that we have enough data to assume that that's the case, and we don't need a God. You can't even prove God. So stop acting like you have proof and I don't. You don't have proof of God. So
I'm saying
that give us reasons to believe in God.
We are fundamentally wired to know that truth and love and purpose exist. That's our
wiring. That is something that we're not wired to know truth. We are wired to understand reality, sure, but it doesn't mean that we know truth.
We
truth
are wired
describes reality accurately.
Generally, we are wired with some sort of conscience, some sort of telos.
And that is explained through naturalism. Perfectly fine.
But it's not. It's explained relativistically, not absolutely. That's the point.
Why do we need absolute knowledge?
Because if nothing is absolute, then nothing's really true. This discussion is meaningless. If absolute truth doesn't exist, if there's no meaning to life, there's no reason.
What? That's ridiculous. What? Give us the argumentation. Give us the the premises, the conclusion that says that absolutes are required.
So Can you deduct and understand that if
No, no,
there's
no, no,
no,
sir.
if
Listen. Give us the logical premises that in the conclusion that follows some premises that absolute knowledge is necessary for knowledge.
because if absolute knowledge doesn't exist and all we are relating is opinion, it's all kind of if you break it down, it's nonsense.
No. Opinion is different than knowledge, right? Knowledge is what describes reality accurately. Well, you're saying that you have epistemic access to absolute reality. That's what I'm rejecting. So how do you know that you have access to absolute reality?
I have personal one. I need to lay out better argumentation to go into proceedings. One, man, I lost my train of thought. So, crap, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, well, come back later, and you're welcome to come back. You're one of the nicest guests I've had, so thank you. Hey, what do you got?
Hello.
What do you got?
Quick question. What do you feel about paranormal activities?
It's baseless nonsense. Got any evidence of it?
What do you mean, do you have any evidence of it? So if I told you that I saw a freaking demon in my basement, you would just say, no, I didn't?
Well, I would ask you, how do you know you saw a demon and what it was and how you know what it was? I would ask you questions before I just go, yeah, you're right, you saw a demon. I wouldn't just believe you. Where's your evidence?
All right, another example. Have you ever heard of nurses?
You didn't have one example.
I mean, I just told you. You're not going to believe me if I say that. There's plenty of
Okay,
people who
well,
say
then
that.
how do you know that you saw a demon? It wasn't just a hallucination or sleep paralysis or a dream. How did you discount all those possibilities?
It could be a dream too. What do dreams mean to you?
Yeah, exactly.
So if I have a
So
dream that I
you
went to
can't just
hell and
say I
came
saw.
back,
This is the problem. You can't just go around saying, I saw demons. I saw demons. When it could be just a dream. That's irresponsible. All right, one last guess. This is getting really late here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you.
How's it?
Hey, what do you got?
Hello? Yeah, I just want to know something. Do you believe in God, firstly?
No, I don't know what God is.
Okay, maybe you say you can't see God, so you don't believe him. Is that what you say? Is
No,
that what
there's
you're
no
trying to...
evidence. There's no evidence of a God.
Okay, can I ask you something? Do you have a brain?
Yeah, I do.
Can you see your brain?
Yeah, we can measure the brain.
No, but can you see it? Can you see your brain?
Yeah, yes, we can measure the brain, and seeing is the same thing as measuring it. I can weigh my brain, right? I can feel there's something there. There's a weight to it. I can think and talk. That's evidence of a brain. I can dissect people. That's evidence of a brain. I can use fMRI or MRI scans, CAT
But you
scans.
can't,
We can see
but
the
you,
brain, sir. Yes, we can see the brain.
yeah, but you can't see it physically. Like now that you're standing there, can you see your brain?
Yes, we can see the brain in every way you want to see it. Now, where is God?
God exists in our culture. It exists, and He told us that He is there. And if you read our scriptures, He says that
Okay,
He
I believe
created good and bad to test
I
us.
I believe in imaginary Bobby, and he said he's real too. Does that mean that Bobby is real?
Have you read the English Quran?
Yeah, it's garbage. The Quran is garbage.
No, you maybe you're not reading it right then, because it tells you
Adam
specifically.
and
He says
Eve, Noah's Ark, talking snakes. It's garbage. The Quran is shit.
you can't say that because we believe it came from the ancient.
Well, I just did, so get over it. Next. I just did say it.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
How you doing?
Tired. What do you got?
I mean, here's the thing. I've been on TikTok now for, I guess, since the pandemic, and it's actually funny that I'm on here because you've been on here for 2 years, presenting the same question.
Hey, what do you got?
Oh shit. Huh? Say swear. Damn. Okay. My fault, bro. Alright, so you don't believe in God, huh?
No, huh? What's your evidence, huh?
Now necessarily I don't believe that evidence is necessary for everything.
Okay, well then you're being dishonest. Bye. I don't talk to dishonest people.
Yeah, you don't.
Bye.
Yo, what's on, man?
Hey, what do you got for us today?
Right, so, you believe you have a soul, yeah?
No.
Right, so explain deja vu to me in scientific terms.
Sure. It's called a brain fuck up. Your brain fucks up sometimes.
Your brain fucks up and tells the future.
illusion.
Your brain fucks up and tells the future, bro. Come on, Million Man.
It's not telling the future.
I got you, bro.
It's not telling the future. You think it's the future, but it's an illusion. That's the point.
An illusion of what, man? How can your brain
Your brain gets disoriented for a second. That's what happens, right? It's when your brain fucks up and you don't know where you are for a second. That's what's happening.
Your brain fucks up and tells the future, bro.
It doesn't tell the future. You can't tell the future with deja vu. You only
Here, mate.
It only feels.
Listen.
No, we're not doing this. It only feels like you are experiencing something that you saw before, but that's a feeling and it's not real. It's again a brain fuck up. It doesn't mean God exists. Hey, what do you got?
So I guess my question to you is, what's your definition of God?
Imaginary.
Imaginary, that's your definition.
Yeah, it's a made up friend. Can't hear you. We can't hear you, sir.
So can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So like the dictionary definition would be, a power or somebody that's worshipped or something that's worshipped.
Yeah, it's garbage. What's your evidence for God, sir? What is your evidence for that shit?
Well, so the definition of God would be the creator of everything.
Okay, great. What's your evidence for this creator?
Everything's created.
You're presupposing that, right? How do you know this is created, not just nature?
Because, well, it is nature, but something has to create nature, right?
Why?
It just can't.
Why?
Why what?
Why does that have to be created, sir? Tell us, give us something, please.
Doesn't everything have to come from something? It can't come from nothing.
Okay, then where did God come from?
God has always been like.
Oh, okay. So everything has to come from something except for my God. Well, that's garbage, sir. We can just say that for the universe. We can just say the universe is always there, and that's it. You can cut out your God shit and just stay with nature.
But where would the universe come from?
I just can't. I just can't, guys. I can't take much longer this. I can't take it much longer, guys.
What's up, man?
Hey, what do you got?
You said you're tired, so you're probably going to bed. All right, so I guess you're looking for evidence. I would say you're just not convinced. But okay, so if you could run me through. So what's your issues with the cosmological argument?
Where do I start? It's unnecessary. It begs the question. It has false premises. It doesn't even advocate for a God. It advocates for something causing the universe, which doesn't even get to the God. It's complete
Well,
garbage.
so we know we can't have an infinite regress, right? Like we would both agree on that. So mathematically, if we continue in infinity backwards, we would never arrive at today. So there has to be some kind of beginning.
Incorrect.
Why
This
so?
is a false understanding of how time works. This is based on the A theory of time, when the B theory is a more accurate representation of time, where we have time being a static dimension, where, like a block universe, like Einstein demonstrated, we have 3 dimensions of space, one of time, and time is static. It doesn't move. It doesn't pass. And any sense of time passing is illusory. But in this sense, time can be a dimension. It goes on infinitely into the past, into the future.
It's time, but time's dependent on particular things, correct? So in order for
Time doesn't depend on anything. Space-time does not depend on anything necessarily.
Can anything affect time?
No.
Really?
What
So
if
gravity and perspective
gravity
cannot
affects our experience
perception of time.
Yes,
Right. It
perception
affects our
can change,
perception.
but
In
time
that
itself does
moment,
not change.
so yes, our perception does change, right? But in
Yes,
that moment,
our
from us,
perception changes, but time doesn't.
I don't know if I agree with that, because time is still being actually bent by, like a black hole will bend time. It actually
Well,
affects it.
well,
Even regardless of your
again,
perspective, it's still
we
affecting.
can view space-time as one sheet that goes on forever. We can view it as a dimension that's static. Again, we can. It's hard to imagine, but we can conceptualize space and time included with all those bends and warpings of it
Okay, all
in
right.
this
So
one
taking time,
dimension.
gotcha. And I'm not good at debating, man. So bear with me on this. And I know you're tired. You actually seem a little pissed, so please don't get mad at me. All right. So the cosmological argument, Aristotle's whole cause and effect, right?
Yeah.
I don't see how mathematically we can have an infinite regress and still arrive at today, even with it being static.
Again, the reason why not? Imagine like having an infinite number line where we have numbers on a number line going negative infinity to positive infinity.
Okay.
Why can't there be negative numbers into negative infinity? Why is that impossible?
Because if we went negatively into infinity backwards, regardless if time is static or not static, we would still never arrive at the present.
No, this is incorrect. Again, time doesn't move. Again, we can imagine and we can conceptualize time not moving.
Right. I said take time out of the cause and effect would. I'm not talking about time in this perspective. In fact, we're using infinity because
cause and effect wouldn't exist anyway. It's an emergent phenomenon. Cause and effect is not integral to space-time. It is an emergent phenomenon. But the point is that, again, we can imagine the universe like a block. Just as all of space exists out there, right? Do you think that space can be infinite?
No, mathematically, we've proven that it actually has a border.
Really? Where's the border?
Yeah. So we have actually done the math. I encourage you to look up Unbelievable. There's a great mathematician that goes up against William Lane Craig, and actually kind of stumps William Lane with this line of reasoning.
Stop. Where is the scientific research that demonstrates that there's a border to the universe or an edge?
His argument.
This isn't
math.
That's not a source. I'm asking for a peer-reviewed source that demonstrates this, not some guy.
He's the scholar. So
I don't give a shit. I don't care, sir. I'm asking.
So let me give you his reasoning. So what he says, right, is that mathematically the universe will eventually come to a point where it has reached its limit. And what he argues is that the universe will actually collapse back in on itself and restart. William Lane Craig gives a different perspective to that, obviously. All right, so you don't agree with the cosmological argument. What about ontological?
Listen, sir, you can't appeal to authority here, right? I understand that there are many mathematicians that have different opinions, but the problem is that there's no evidence that the universe must be finite. Space can be infinite, just like time can be infinite, and there's nothing mathematically or scientifically stopping that from happening.
I mean, the guy's an atheist, and he believes, like, his math and
It doesn't
agrees.
matter.
I'm just
It
saying that's his
doesn't
argument.
matter.
So
It doesn't, sir. Listen, it doesn't matter who it is. What we need is not a person, but a scientific source with a methodology that demonstrates your conclusion. You have not shown that. You've given me a person, which means nothing.
well, I've
So
presented you
again,
someone's argument, but I mean, we
it
can
doesn't
pull them
matter.
up
I
and we
don't
can.
want
Do you
that
want to get into
person's
that?
argument. I want your evidence that God exists.
So, Mike, hold on. Give me a second here. All right, I'm not appealing to him as an authority. You asked me a question, and I said that yes, there are scholars out there right now, mathematicians, that actually believe that there is a deadline to the universe, that it will
I
eventually
don't
stop.
care. There's no consensus about this in
You
science.
asked me a question, bud. That's all. I was just giving you an answer. That's
Well,
not my argument.
your
All right, so
answer is irrelevant. That's the problem here. So let's get back to the evidence for God.
so why is, before we move on to the ontological argument, why is the law of causality infinitely regressing?
There is no law
Makes
of
sense.
causality, sir. Infinite regression there can be cycles. There could be a causal loop where you have A cause B, B cause A. And
How do we know that?
It's a conceptual idea, sir. That's not. Where's the logical contradiction there?
Well, because cause, I pick up pen, effect, drop, the effect is that it dropped, right? Like, I mean, we can play things backwards. Time, like, not so much time, but like our cause and effect will go back.
Again,
we have
causality.
a past.
There is no law
We
of
have a
causality. No. Again, the past, present, and future, they all could exist simultaneously, just as all the space exists simultaneously out there in the universe, which can be infinite.
That's what Christians believe. But
no, it's not what they believe, sir. They believe that
we believe God is outside of time and he is simultaneous. He's omnitemporal.
No, that's not that. Listen, that's not what I just said. You're not understanding what I'm saying. The universe can be infinite in space and in time. There's nothing stopping that from happening. And there is no such thing as the law of causality in science at all. It doesn't exist. That's garbage. In fact, in quantum mechanics, there is no such thing as causality, cause and effect. That's stupid. We know now that there's superpositions where things have multiple causes at one time.
All right, so ontological argument. Why doesn't that convince you of a God?
Which one? There's many different ontological arguments.
The Christian God.
No.
Like his character.
Which ontological argument are you arguing for? PSR? Are you talking about the contingency argument? Which one?
I didn't know there was multiple. I just know that is the ontological argument.
Then go back to the drawing board and learn some philosophy.
Okay, we'll do. I really will. This is interesting. All right. The moral argument you kind of got into. You started talking about the omnipresence, omnitemporal, omnibenevolence of God. Why is that an argument against God?
Well, because there's paradoxes in terms of these omni properties. I mean, if you think that God has free will, but that God knows the future, well, that can't exist. There's a problem there.
If God has free will, he can't know the future?
If we have free will and God knows the future, has foreknowledge of the future, there has to be a paradox there. It can't exist. They can't coexist together.
Do you believe in libertarian free will? Because Christians don't teach libertarian free will.
I don't believe that free will even is a possibility.
Yes. Okay, so you're a hard determinist or just a soft determinist?
Yeah, I would classify myself as a hard determinist.
Okay, so not even close to compatibilism. Okay.
No.
Okay, not even close. So Christians don't teach hard determinism or libertarian free will. We don't believe in that at all. So we believe in compatibilism, that there is a sovereign God and creatures that make choices, but they're not in a vacuum, right?
Okay. But do you think that every choice I make is determined?
Your free will. No, yes, I would say I'm more of a soft determinist than I am a compatibilist, but I still claim to be a compatibilist.
So is anything we do free?
It is free, but influenced. That's the way I present it.
That doesn't make any sense. Freedom, by definition, means you're not influenced by anything.
Then it would be determinism, and I'll
okay, great. So what you're saying is that you believe in a God who determined people to go to hell.
That according to Romans 1, the answer would be yes, right? So the reason for
so you believe in God.
So let's define terms like what is hell.
Cancer. You believe in a God who determined people to get all kinds of diseases and rape and murder, and you think that you're going to call this God good?
Right. So
there's another problem. The problem of evil now.
So what we believe as Christians, right, is God is sovereign, right? He's already played everything out from beginning to end.
I don't give a shit what you believe as a Christian. I'm looking for evidence that
Damn,
shows
dude.
us God exists. And if you can't attack the single refutation I just presented to you, you don't have a place in this debate.
I'm giving you an explanation. Like I don't think it's a I don't you have a problem with it. I don't. I don't have a problem with the you've created a problem out of
Solve
it.
the
I've
problem with
accepted
evil.
it.
Is God all good?
He's all good.
Then why does he cause people to get cancer?
Can I answer, or are you going to say I don't care what you believe as a Christian?
Go ahead.
So God being holy, right? There is a manifestation of his glory that occurs, right? So what we believe is that God saw that this world, the one that has evil in it, is necessary for the manifestation or the magnification of his glory, which is a preference he prefers over his desire to not have evil, right?
Okay.
So the reason for that,
So you're saying that every baby that has cancer, every rape is required for God to have glory?
not required, it is preferred. So the reason for that is because when we realize, right? This is what the Bible teaches. I'm just telling you, right?
So your God prefers
If
rape.
there is
Your God
if there
prefers rape.
is a God, right? Then evil has purpose. Without a God, evil would be purposeless.
But why does evil have to have a purpose in the first place? Why do we have to have evil?
Because your worldview still has evil in it.
No, it
Yet
doesn't.
you can't explain it.
No, it doesn't. See, my
So
worldview says that there is no good or evil, objectively speaking. There's no ontology to these things. They don't exist. They're just opinionated beliefs. When it comes to your view, your entire view hinges on this evil and good shit, which is why what you've just said is garbage, because now you believe in a God who prefers rape victims. You believe in a God who prefers cancer.
Prefers a world at which these things do occur over a world where they don't. Yes.
Why? And now your answer is why. Does God need to be go through suffering to be good?
So, not God going through suffering. What we believe.
Evil's unnecessary.
I'm answering it.
The problem of evil still proceeds.
I'm answering it.
Persists.
What we believe is that in order for certain attributes about God to actually manifest themselves in the natural world, you have to experience it. You couldn't know good without evil, right? And I mean, in your world where you have nothing, it's kind of hopeless.
No, let's do an internal critique now. You're saying we can't know evil without good. Well, or you can't know good without evil. Well, I'm sorry, sir. We can know neutral actions to know good. We don't need to know what a hill is. We don't need to know what a hole is to know what a hill is. All I need is a level flat ground to know what a hill is. So just like this, analogously, I don't need to know what evil is to know what good is. All I need is a neutral action. You know,
I don't agree with that.
Eating pasta.
I don't agree with that. You're referring to things that have nothing to do with actual moral. Give me like something that's moral for me to understand it. How can you know something good?
Eating pasta is amoral.
Is eating pasta a moral?
It's amoral. It's amoral.
Okay.
There you go. You have neutral action, which necessitates knowing.
I'm learning how to debate.
Evil is.
Okay. All right. So regardless of the internal critique, right, you would still, if there was a world at which God preferred evil to exist, I mean, how could you hold him accountable to it? Right? How in your worldview, what are you using to judge God?
No, this is called an internal critique. My worldview is, it's not required. It's irrelevant. I'm doing an internal critique. If you're saying that God is all good and that he prefers a world where people get raped, well, I'm sorry, sir. By your own definition, isn't it wrong in the Bible to rape and do these things? Isn't murder wrong? If your God prefers a world where murder happens, and your Bible says the opposite, it's a contradiction there.
No, it's not a contradiction. There's an explanation for it. He's given a means, right? He's giving us a guideline on things of what not to do, right? Based on his character, right? But allowing a world where the manifestation of certain attributes of him can actually play out in this world, right? I couldn't know grace without having, this idea of me being trapped, right? I couldn't know mercy without, experience non-mercy.
Does God need to know what evil is to know what good is?
Well, so I don't know what your definition of evil is. Give me your definition, because that's not what I believe
It's
evil is.
yours, sir, yours, the Christian
No,
version.
that's not. My definition of evil is the absence of God, right? So evil isn't a thing for us, right? It doesn't.
Okay.
It's not. It's
Well,
not tangible, right? Cold is not a thing. It's just the absence of heat.
well,
Right?
then we
Darkness
can.
isn't a thing. It's just the
Well,
absence of
then
light.
okay. Well, then
Evil is just
we
the
can
absence of good.
just flip this onto you. We can say, well, evil is a lack of good, or good,
Correct.
or
Well,
good is a
so
lack, or good is
the
a lack
reason
of
the
evil.
reason you
Hold on,
can't
hold
flip
on,
it
hold
is
on,
because the
hold
one
on,
is
hold
dependent
on,
on the other.
hold on, sir.
You can't flip it.
We can say yes, we can flip it. We can say that
Nope, you
good
cannot.
is a lack of evil, and then we can say your God is evil, and He prefers a world where there's evil.
You
It's the
cannot flip
same
it
thing. Why not?
because evil is not depend. So darkness is dependent on light, right?
And light
Darkness isn't
is
a thing.
dependent on dark,
Light is. We
and
can measure light.
light is dependent on dark.
No, it isn't.
If you
And
don't have darkness,
that
if
is
you don't have
dense of you to
darkness,
say. Scientifically,
if you
light
don't have
is not
darkness,
dependent on darkness, and
listen,
you know that.
No. What you're saying is, if you don't know what light is, you don't know what dark is. But we can say the same thing flipped. We can say that if without dark, you don't know what
No,
light is.
I'm saying
Yes,
because we have experienced darkness, we understand light in light of darkness.
we can, and we can flip it. We can say if we don't understand light, we'll never understand darkness.
Sure, but light is not dependent on darkness. Our
Yes, it is.
understanding of light and darkness is one thing, but the actual manifestation
Yes,
of
it
light
is.
and let me
Listen, sir.
finish.
No. Stop. You're saying that darkness is required
I have to write
to
things
understand light, and I can say that light is required to understand dark. I can flip it.
I agree with you. I agree with that statement. However,
So
light itself,
your
hold
argument
on,
collapses.
Mike. Let me
Your
respond.
argument collapses.
Mike, let me respond. However, the actual thing of light itself, is not dependent on darkness, right? Cold is
Darkness.
or heat is not
Then
dependent on cold.
again, we can
There
flip
is
it.
no.
We can say, sir, we can say the light depends on darkness too.
You can't.
Why not?
We can actually measure how much light is in something. We can measure how much heat is in something, right? We
Right,
can't do the opposite.
but this is not analogous to good or evil.
Sure it is, because evil,
No, it
according
is
to my
not.
definition that I gave you, is the
No, it is not.
absence of
It
good.
is no. This is not analogous to good or evil, because good and evil have separate ontologies that light and darkness don't
Not
have.
according to your worldview. You don't have either
No,
or.
this is not about my worldview. This is
I
about
understand
your
that.
view. And yes,
But I just gave you a
so
response. I said, this is what we believe. You can't, you have no. All right,
listen.
I'm
What
listening, man.
you're saying that
Yes.
you need to know what good is or bad is to know what good is. Well, why can't we flip those two moral ontologies? We can just say you need to know what bad is to know what good is. We can do the same thing. And you can't compare it
can't.
to light.
I-
You
I-
can't
I
compare it to
disagree
light.
with you, sir.
Hold on. You cannot compare it to light because light is an empirical thing. It is a physical object, not what morality is. So that's why you can't say this is not analogous to good or evil.
Okay, I'll concede that point that they are not analogous, right? But my definition of evil, right, for my definition of God, is it's the absence of good. So, continue with your point before we went off on the tangent.
So then now your argument is back to square one. I can just reverse it and say good is a lack of evil or evil is a lack of good. And we're back to square one.
No, because one is dependent on the other.
And I can
Evil
say
is dependent on goodness being a thing and measurements of goodness.
And I can flip that again.
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. Like, no, you're refusing
not?
to
Why
address
can't
because Mike,
listen,
you're refusing
listen.
to address the simple fact that I have given a definition that it is dependent on, and you're not addressing that. It is goodness or evil is dependent on goodness.
And
It's
I can
not
say
the other way
good is
around.
evil. And I can say good is dependent on evil.
Not from your worldview. So you can't
No,
critique my
no, no, no,
worldview
no,
and tell
no,
me a
no, no,
different
no, no.
definition. You're doing an internal critique, right?
No. Yes, I'm doing the
Okay,
internal
so
critique.
you can't change definitions in my worldview.
Quiet.
All right, I'm
I'm
quiet.
doing an internal criticism. So stop saying
Correct.
under my view, okay? Stop saying under my view.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
refrain.
great. Under your view, There is
Okay.
no symmetry breaker between good and evil. So you can flip it, and I can say that the
Why is
ontology
there no
of
symmetry
evil.
breaker?
Show me it logically.
I don't.
Where's the
I'm
logic?
trying to.
Where's the logic?
God would be the symmetry breaker in my worldview.
No, no,
He is the standard.
no.
He's the standard.
What is the? That's your opinion. I'm asking you, how do you know that there is a distinction between good and evil that separates them two, so that only love, only good has an ontology and evil doesn't? How do you know that?
How do I know that? Hold on, let me work that, because that's, how do I know that good is dependent, or that God is the standard for good to be dependent, because there is no evil in him, so I need to, then we go back to proving my imaginary God that you so waste your time doing.
This is not, no, you're not going to do this on my life. It is not a waste of time to make people think critically. That is never a waste of time. And you think it is,
I would agree.
You can go away, because this is not a waste of time. This is incredibly important, including in today's world, where people don't know how to think. So I'm sorry, sir. Don't say that ever again, or you will be kicked off.
Hey, Mike, I apologize for offending you. Okay,
Thank you.
It wasn't my intention.
It's not offending
right?
me. It's offending people in the audience, and it's offending people around the world who want to think critically and care about the truth.
I've been following you and watching you for 2 years, and you seem angrier now than you've ever been.
I don't get,
and that's just but if you could, can we critique your worldview then?
Because people like you are voting against people's rights to be themselves. You're voting against abortion rights. You're voting against LGBT rights. You're voting for science to be taken out of schools and put in creation science, to cancel books. This is why we should be angry, because what Christians have done to this country in America is atrocious. And it is lazy for people like you to come up here and say, "Oh, we shouldn't be angry about this," when we absolutely should. When Christians are causing lots of havoc on critical thinking skills in our world. So either give me a good argument for your God or go away.
We've moved on to a new topic, right? Christianity versus no Christianity. All right. So you think since the founding of since the Puritan
pivot? So you're going to pivot?
No. You did because you explained why you're getting mad. So I'd like to address that if I can. So you think since the Puritans founded the nation, right? Since we started from the first Great Awakening, where Christianity was flourishing in America, right, to where it is today, that it's actually better?
America is most prosperous than it's ever been in the past. That's why
that's not true at all. The most prosperous time for America was right before World War II.
You think segregation was good?
No, that's not what you asked. The most prosperous time for America was right before World War II.
You think when women didn't have a right to vote or didn't have the right to get credit, you think that was a more prosperous time than today?
I don't. What do you believe about women's rights to vote? And during that time, there's women that wrote against it on purpose. Right? They believe they voted as a family. It had nothing to do with actual.
We're not doing this, sir. We're not talking about America. What we're talking about now is back to the evidence for God.
Okay, so evidence for God. We're talking about the problem of evil first, right? You wanted us to address that. I think that with God, evil has purpose. You believe. I don't know. Well, I actually don't know what you believe, but without a God, there would be no purpose to evil. Because of God, evil has purpose. A rape has purpose. Excuse me,
but
great.
You have not shown that evil has to exist.
Well, I did. From our worldview, evil exists in order to manifest in this world attributes about God that couldn't exist without it: grace, mercy, love, kindness. Right, and His just wrath nature. Right, so His justice.
So you're saying without evil, there can't be good at all.
Without the option of evil, His wrath could not be displayed.
Yes. Evil. Okay.
Correct.
So why couldn't God create a world where we have the option to do evil, but we never do it?
Because then the manifestation of His wrath, just nature, His perfectness, His mercy, His grace would never have occurred. Right.
No,
the whole storyline of human beings is this totality.
You just said
coming to a conclusion.
Sir, listen. You just said without the choice of evil, God couldn't be glorious, whatever that shit you believe in. But I just showed you
Right.
a world where we have free will, and
Right.
God never, and we never choose evil. We have the option, but we don't choose it.
Right.
We always choose the option. Why couldn't
right.
God make that world?
Because in that world, not that he couldn't, but he chose not to. The reason
Oh,
that world does not
wait,
exist in this one.
Wait, you said he could have?
Yes, he could have, but he chose not to. Yes, he has a preference for a world.
Wait. So you just conceded that God could have made a world without murder, without rape, and all these things.
Correct.
But he chose a world where we do have murder and rape.
Correct.
For no reason, for no good reason.
No, there is a reason, right?
What was it? What's the reason?
So if give me a chance to complete a full thought, please. All right. So there is going to come a time, according to what we believe, where there is an actual manifestation of his just nature, right? Where he actually judges people. That couldn't have occurred. Hold on, that couldn't have occurred
without your
evil.
fairy tale. We're not talking about your fairy tales. We're talking about logic. What logically necessitates evil? And if all you're going to say is, well, he has to be glorious, why can't God achieve that same plan without actualizing evil instead of just giving us the option to do evil? Why didn't he do that?
Because it would not be logical for him to for those things to occur in a world where evil didn't exist. It wouldn't be possible.
Spread out the logic.
How could he display his justice in a world where there was no need for justice? How could he display mercy, love, and grace in a world where it wasn't necessary?
So you're saying that God is not just without humans.
No, the manifestation of justice in a natural world could not occur without the creation of the universe. Correct.
So you're saying God can't be just
if
humans don't exist?
No. So he's independent of us. Right? We still hold to that. But for our joy, for us, those things could not occur in a world that did not have wickedness. Right? So it's what we call a partnership, right? Like, do we get to participate in the manifestation of his glory?
So why couldn't God just give us justice without all this evil in the world? Or
that'd be illogical.
Why couldn't God have preferred a world where there's only a little bit of injustice and not so much gratuitous injustice?
So that'd be illogical for him to do that, right? And two, where sin abounds, grace abounds that much more.
You can't just say, oh, it would be illogical, right?
It would
be.
You have to
give us the logic that demonstrates that this is necessary.
If no evil occurs, there'd be no reason for justice.
Okay, great. So why couldn't God make a world where there's a little bit of evil and not so much evil?
Okay, and this is scripture for you, right? This is what we believe. Where sin abounds, grace abounds that much more.
I don't care about your fucking garbage book of garbage. I'm asking for logic.
I'm giving you an explanation.
I don't care about your preaching. You're not going to preach again on my life.
I'm not preaching.
I'm asking for logic.
I just gave you some.
I'm asking for logic. Where's the logic? Where's the logic that necessitates gratuitous evil?
Right. So would you say, or would you agree that if there is this gratuitous evil occurring, when grace occurs in a world of this gratuitous evil, that grace is therefore just as gratuitous? Correct?
No.
So the more evil, the more beauty to his grace, love, and mercy.
Incorrect. God could have made a world where where people understand the injustice, and we still could have had justice with
That's illogical, man. You couldn't understand it.
How is it illogical that there was less evil in the world? How is that logical? Why did God have to bring so much of this nonsense? Why did God even have to make this world? If you're going to say
why did he have to make it?
See, what you're saying now is that this world is necessary.
Correct.
So you're saying that God necessarily had to make humans.
So what we believe, and I'm arguing for.
So you're saying that God necessarily had to produce evil.
So no, because once again, you're changing the definition of evil. That's not what we believe evil is, right? Evil is the absence of God. It's not something he creates. It's just something that comes from the absence of him.
You literally just said that God had to make evil such that he brought justice to the world.
Right. It said in order for justice to manifest in our natural world for us to understand, us to actually come to comprehend, evil would have to occur, right? God, by his very nature, is a savior, right? It is part of who he
He
is. In
saved
order for
us.
him to
He
display
saved
that to
us.
the entire
But
universe,
look what he did. He didn't save us for jack shit. He
what do
saved
you mean?
us from what? Things that we did that he told us to do in the first place. Things that he created for us to do. He
Right.
saved us from himself. He didn't actually do anything good or justice. He didn't actually display justice. What he did was he created a world where people were told to do shit and told to and allowed to murder and rape and all these things. And then God would come in acting like the superhero, all because
Correct.
he wanted his own glory out of selfishness.
Yeah.
That's
So
pathetic.
Mike, hear me.
What you're saying is that God cares more about children being raped and murdered than his own ego.
No. So I would say,
I'm
right,
sorry,
what we would
flip
say.
that. I'm saying that God cares more about his own
Yeah.
ego.
I understood what you meant. I
God
understood what
cares
you
more
meant.
about his own ego than children being raped or murdered.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes. Yes. So here's the thing, right? Here's the understand. If we
You
have a
just said
correct
correct?
view, yes. If we
Wait,
have,
wait. Let me do this again. Let me say this again. You're saying that God cares more about his own ego than kids being raped.
I'm defining ego as glory, right? Yes. So here's what we
Okay.
believe,
Have a
right?
good day. That is disgusting. I can't talk to you anymore.
You
I
have,
can't.
but in
I
hold
just
on, but
can't.
in
I
real
just
quick,
can't. I just can't. That is disgusting. This is why Christianity should be banned. This is absolutely disgusting. I've sat here all day listening to Christians justify rape, justify murder, justify slavery, and now justifying every evil in the world. Every evil in the world is justified because, oh, God has to show his glory. For what? God could have made a world where he didn't have to give us glory. He didn't have to show his glory. That's garbage. There's no logic that necessitates glory. That is stupid. That is pathetic. And a lot of you guys are here saying, you're not talking to a true Christian. Well, guess what? That is a true Christian. And that's what they believe. All right, let's bring the next victim in here. Ugh. Your God is evil by definition. Hey, what do you got? Bye, Felicia. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. Subscribe. Everybody follow me. Subscribe. Go to my YouTube. Follow my YouTube.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Let's get a couple more guests in here to get some serious.
Hey, Mike, why you so hurt by God, bro? What did he do to you?
Why are you so hurt by Santa Claus?
What?
Are you hurt by Santa Claus?
Man, hey, just heal, bro. Heal. I worry about you, bro. You sit on here all
No,
day
you
trying
don't.
to
No, you don't,
mess
sir.
up.
You guys are funny. You guys come up here and think that I'm hurt because I'm standing up for people's rights. I'm standing up for people, LGBT people, and atheists. I'm standing up for people who think and use their brains. And you think I'm bad for that? That is sad. That is sad. I don't hate God. There is no God. It doesn't fucking exist. Nobody has brought up any evidence for God at all. All we've heard of today is people justifying rape, murder, and slavery. That isn't, to me, good reason to believe in a God, even if it was true, which it's not. But unfortunately, that's what happens when you're in a blood cult.
Hello. I'm not saying that God is, well, I'm kind of in half since I've been watching you. So I used to be a very strong Christian. I used to go to church every single Sunday. My family was very big on Christianity.
Hey,
Hey,
what do you
what's
got?
up, man? What's up, man?
What's your argument?
Yeah, God is imaginary. You're right. But again, I'm into science, and science can't prove whether God is real or not. That's the
Okay,
problem.
okay. Do you have any evidence of a God though?
No.
Okay. And change your smoke detectors, God damn it! Change your damn smoke detectors. Hey, what do you got? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what do you got?
All right, so take every single scientist in the whole world, put them in a lab, including yourself, give them nothing, and tell them to create something with it.
Yeah, creation doesn't exist. There's no such thing as creation.
Like I said, get everyone that you know, every smart scientist.
Not possible. So you're trying to show us that there's something. You're trying to justify something impossible.
Exactly. You can't take nothing and make something with it. That's
Great.
impossible.
So
You
what's
just
your
said it
point?
yourself.
What's your point?
You said it yourself. You're admitting that there has to be something to create.
No, I don't believe in creation. You do. You believe in that shit. You believe that God made us from nothing. He waved his magic wand and poof, we magically appeared in 6 days. That's what you believe, sir.
And what you believe is that nothing created everything.
No, that's not what I believe. Stop
That's
strawmanning
magic.
me. Stop strawmanning me and give a fucking argument.
I just did.
No,
I just
it
told you.
failed miserably,
I,
sir, because it's a straw man. Try next time. Try again next time. We evolved. Evolution's a fact. Get over it. Hey, what do you got?
Well, we do know God is the Word, and that's our evidence.
God is imaginary, sir. Your word is
But
garbage. Your word is shit. It's a piece of shit.
in
Talking
the
snakes,
beginning,
talking donkeys, dragons,
there was a
wizards,
perfect world.
giants, Adam
As
and
your
Eve,
argument
Mozart,
was,
virgin
there
births.
was a perfect
It is
world.
stupid. You have no evidence for your belief.
No, I have plenty of evidence.
Where is it? Where's your evidence?
Your evidence comes from a book. My evidence comes from a book.
Absolutely not. Science
No,
is
that
not based on a book. Science is based on experimentation and falsification. Nice
what is the
try,
number
buddy.
one book that scientists all follow? What is the number one book? And they
There
all
is no
admit
one
this.
book that we follow, sir. That's what idiots do.
Well, that's what your idiot scientists do as well.
Oh, you don't know what science falsification means? Do you know what falsification is?
You're asking me.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Next.
Hello, my friend. I just want to jump into the box and say, respect you very much, for what you do.
Thank you. Yeah, science is not just a book. It is research, experimentation, verification. That's how we do science. It's a methodology. You can't equate it to your cult. Hmm.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
Hey, I know like a lot of people come on here and like don't get to the point, but I think like who's to say that Adam and Eve were, you believe in evolution because that's science. Who's to say that Adam and Eve were like perfect humans just like we are? Who's to say we didn't evolve? But who's to say it's exactly how the Bible is? I also think a ton of people twist it. I don't think the Bible has credit for everything. I don't understand
So what is
science
your
and the
argument?
Bible.
All right. So what is your argument today?
I don't really know. I guess I just wanted to say that.
Okay. Well, evolution's a fact. We can observe it in the fossil record and our DNA in labs. Get over it. Evolution happens. If you don't understand it, go learn it. And it debunks Adam and Eve. There can't be a first person. That's stupid. That's not real. And yes, evolution is a fact. It is a fact. We can observe speciation in a lab. We can observe chromosome 2, which is direct proof of evolution. Yes, it is a fact. Yes, evolution is a fact. Go learn it. It's a fact. We can see chromosome fusions. We can see genetic mutations. We can see speciation in labs with bacteria. We can see the fossil record. We can look at homologous structures, analogous structures in the geological strata. We can take a look at things like endogenous retroviruses, which mutate quickly. All of which are proof of evolution. And if you don't understand this, go learn the science.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. What's your argument?
So I know that there's a lot of people who are Christian coming on here, but I just want to say that there's currently thousands and thousands and thousands of different religions that are.
And they're all wrong. They're all baseless, poopy.
Hello?
Hey, what do you got?
Hello? Oh, I just wanted to come on here and call you a bitch. That's it. Have a good day.
Oh, is this the Christian love you guys talk about?
Yes, you're a bitch.
Is this
Thank
what
you.
Jesus wanted? You just called me a bitch?
Is this what Jesus wants? You want dick up your ass. That's what you want. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, what's wrong with being gay?
That's what you're fighting for.
What's wrong with
That's
being
what you're
gay?
fighting for.
Yes, what's wrong with being gay? Can you defend your belief?
God is alive.
Can you
God
def-
is good.
No, you're
God
not
is
going to
good.
preach here. You're not going to preach here, man. Can you defend
Can
your
you explain your belief though? Can you explain your belief?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being
Your
LGBT.
booty hurt. You have the most fragile ego
Then
ever. The most fragile ego I've ever fucking seen.
demonstrate that there's something wrong with being gay.
Man, shut the fuck up. Man, shut the fuck up. Seriously.
Okay.
You sound
Yeah.
stupid. You sound
Exactly. This is what Christians do. The typical Christian. They have no evidence, no reasons, no data, just opinions, feelings, and ego. That's all they got. But guess who will win in the end? The truth always wins. And they're on the wrong side of history because they don't understand basic science. I will continue fighting for people's rights. I will continue fighting against scientific illiteracy. I'll always keep fighting for people to question these beliefs. Keep thinking, stay curious. Challenge the norm, challenge what people say, challenge your priest, challenge your pastors. No belief is exempt from criticism. I know you guys are all against me, but just if you understand my perspective, if you took off your God goggles for a second, you recognize that there's another perspective on the world that might make you understand more about each other, the environment, and the world around you. And I know it's easy to come up here and say that I'm a bad guy because I'm aggressive against your beliefs. But I'm not a bad guy. I'm just a curious guy. And somebody who wants the truth, no matter what cost it is. I'll always stick up for science literacy, make sure that people understand how to think critically and how science works. Because science offers way much more than religion ever will. What happens when you die? It seems that you rot away and nothing happens when you die. I never met somebody who came back from the dead. It seems to be that when you die, you rot away and that's it. Nobody really cares about you when you die. And you can either cry about that or you can recognize that this life is precious. This is all we got. All we got's each other. All we got is this one planet. So, to me, I think that this life is precious because there's no God, because there's no afterlife. This is a precious life we get. One small chance. One, we'll never be here again. No matter what happens, we'll never be here again. And look what we have. Look at what we have. Family and friends and the world and animals and nature. Whether or not there's a God, this life is amazing. But even more amazing without a God. Because if God exists, well, of course he can do this. It's like Picasso making a painting. Like, yeah, he can do that. But if this is a natural probability, if this universe got here by probability, by pure chance, well, look at that. Look at what we are and what we can do by chance. That's remarkable. And if we're looking for purpose, instead of waiting for our purpose to get here, instead of looking at the sky for a purpose, why not make it ourselves? Why not make this life purposeful? Right? Why not do something good with life? Why not help each other, understand each other deeply? Why not ask these big questions and learn about the answers? But honestly, not projecting our own wants and feelings and desires onto reality. Oh, I want love, I want peace and happiness, therefore God. Like, look at what you think God gives you. Peace, happiness, an afterlife. These are things we all want. These are all of our desires. You only believe in God because it's what your ego says you want. But when you let go of that God stuff, there's a whole new world opens up where you're no longer focused on this one thing, but now you see the world in a different way, where everything is precious. Every moment is precious because it might be your last. And you don't expect an afterlife. You don't expect peace or justice. You don't expect these things. And for that, when you let go of these expectations, you become free. A free mind. And that is something I'll never give up. So if we die and there is a heaven, and I'm somebody who is not me, somebody who just mindlessly worships this thing because it needs glory, like some egotistical dictator, I'm sorry. I'd rather not be there. Your heaven is my hell. I'd rather be me and be skeptical always and never succumb to some magic dictator like a slave. I think this world offers much more than just religion. I think there's much more purpose than just a God. I think that we are much more valuable than just pawns in some kind of God's chess game where he placed us here so that he can be glorious. That's stupid. That's a waste of time. That's petty. I think that we can make purpose. We make our own purpose. And for that, we have infinite purpose, even more than your petty God. All of us are way more precious and valuable than any God, any religion. Don't cut yourself short. Recognize that we are much more than just mindless bots to your God who were given orders. We can do something amazing. So that's all I got today, guys. Just keep thinking. And remember, I'm going to be here forever. I'm never going to go away. I'm always going to stick up for people's rights. I'm always going to stick up for the animals. I'm always going to stick up for people who are themselves and honest. I'm always going to stick up for critical thinking skills and science literacy because it gets things done. It's prosperous. It gives us prosperity. It gives us everything we know and love today. Running water, clothing, shelter, cars, phones. All of these things don't come about because we prayed for them, but because we did them. We produced them through science and through engineering and understanding of the world around us. We didn't just look in a book. We did it on our own. And when I look at things like the pale blue dot, right? See that dot right there? That's the Earth. That's the planet. That's our world, right? That dot is our entire planet. Everybody that you ever know, every person you've ever seen, every person that ever existed, the past 4 billion years of evolution happened on that planet, that one dot, in this ocean of darkness and void. That's all we got, is that one dot. Let's cherish this place. Let's cherish this moment. Let's not destroy it because of our ego. Our egotistical notions of a God got in the way. It's up to us. Nobody's going to come and save us. There is no savior. There is nobody saving us. We can do it ourselves. And it's up to us to change. Oh, my neck is hurting from sitting here all day. But we have a lot of people on, so everybody go follow my YouTube, link in my bio. Go follow me for more debates. I do lots of debates every day. Thank you, Scorpio Fairy. Thank you. Go subscribe to my YouTube. I have a book out too. If you guys want to know more about me, I got a book. I talk about free will and God and veganism and suffering, loss, purpose, meaning, all these things that we care about, that I talk about. If you're questioning, if you're on your journey to questioning reality, but the things I say, I really mean. We are very amazing beings. Whether or not there's a God, whether or not there's somebody doing it, we're amazing. I don't need a God to see the purpose in my life. I don't need a God to see what is right or wrong. I don't. Life is precious. Don't waste it. Be useful. Change something. Change something for the better. Make somebody's life better. These values we can come on our own terms. I don't need God to tell me to do that. I don't need to be ordered to do this. I can do it myself, as we should. Do I ship worldwide? Yes, I do. If you want a signed copy, let me know. If you want me to sign it for you, I have a couple copies left in my house. I can ship it to you. But yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the gifts. I hope you guys learned something today. I don't expect you to become an atheist today. I know you're not. I know most of you guys hate me. But that's good. I'm not afraid of the hate. I'm not afraid of the criticism. I'm not afraid of anything. Except for people who don't think honestly. That's what I hate. I hate ignorance. Deliberate ignorance. So I'll use my voice to make you think. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. Even the haters. Even all you haters. You guys make my day. You guys make my day. Learn about the world, guys. Learn. You have great questions. A lot of questions were great today, right? Where do we come from? Who made us? Where does this come from? Why is this thing? Why is this there? Where is the cause and effect? These are fantastic questions. If you just understood the answer, you would know how amazing the answers are. How incredibly mysterious the world is. There's a whole mystery out there for us to learn. There's a lot of things for us to know and do. Don't cloak the mystery in God. That's what you're doing, right? You're trying to fill in all the gaps with God wherever you can because you're scared to learn about the mystery. Don't do that. Don't get scared. Let go of the God thing for a second. Put it aside for just a second and realize that a whole world opens up of mystery that we can figure out. And we can find the answers. A whole world. A world even potentially more mysterious than God. Imagine that. A world that is even more mysterious than God. Than what you think God is. Quantum mechanics. Particles existing in the same times. Different states at the same time. In a superposition. That's crazy. Time. Slowing, our perception of time slowing down as we speed up through space. That's mind-boggling, right? The Earth being produced by a supernova. We're made of star stuff. Every atom in your body comes from a star that exploded billions of years ago. That's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling facts. There are stars out there that spin at thousands of times per second that shoot out these beams of radiation going out throughout the entire universe. That's amazing. We have pictures of the Big Bang. We have pictures of the Big Bang. We have fossils of the dinosaurs. We know how they died. this amazing things to learn out there. And for you to sit there and say, nope, God did it. That just sucks the beauty out of all of it. It sucks the beauty out of life and the mystery of the universe. It sucks it all away because your ego got in the way. Your ego got in the way because you wanted it to be fun and happy. You wanted there to be a magic man who did it. This is what I'm talking about. God takes away, doesn't give. Your God is like a vacuum sucking away the beauty of life because it comes from our egos, as far as I can see. But if there's a God, if there is an afterlife, great, whatever, fantastic. But at least I recognized that I was honest in this world. I was honest as to who I was, and the skepticism I had was honest skepticism. I asked right questions. I learned correct things. I was accurate as possible. So if your God wants to judge me based on the idea that I didn't believe in him because I was skeptical, well, I'd rather be in hell burning than worshiping your God who doesn't care about thinking skills, who gives us these amazing machines in the top of our heads that can ponder existence, that can ponder quantum mechanics and physics, and doesn't use them and punishes us for using them. That's sad. That's a sad thing. This brain up here is the most complex thing we know of. And you're going to waste it on some blithering idiot up in space who tells us that we shouldn't put our peepees here or here? That's stupid. That's a waste of time. I think that the world is much more beautiful than God, and amazing and mysterious than God. So, anyway, I just want you guys to know that. Yeah, your God, you think that the entire universe was made for that dot. And that your God cares about what that little pixels on that dot does and where they put their peepees and where they go to the bathroom and how they pray and what they eat. That sounds like a pity God to me.